look out here at this post. There are some isolated storms and a water spout off the coast of Galveston. This is in Offutt's Bayou. Take a look at that. Boy, that is really clear. This is on the north side of the island between Galveston and the mainland of Texas. Wow, that's pretty dramatic, Tim. I mean, how does that happen?
This is probably some of the best waterspout video I've seen in a long time. Extremely photogenic there with the clouds in the background. Now, waterspouts are very weak, and when they remain over open waters, they're not going to cause any damage. Just when they move onshore, that could cause a little bit of some minor damage there, but that looks like a very weak funnel there. These are the only storms over the entire area right now over Galveston, and that spawned that waterspout. That's usually quick spin ups and they die on out there. Now let's jump over to the tropics because there's a lot to break down what's going on in the Atlantic right now. 3 separate tropical waves. The next 3 names, Ida, Julian, and Kate. These 2 waves here are the contenders to get that name, whichever develops first will get Ida, and then the secondary one will be Julian. The storm we're going to be watching closely is this wave that's starting to get itself together in the central portions of the Caribbean. Up to 80% chance of developing here within the next 5 days. Within 2 days, we're up to 40%, and you could certainly see some mid-level spin already pretty evident on satellite imagery there. Now, the models do take this off to the northwest, eventually into the Gulf of Mexico, where conditions are extremely conducive for it to develop, possibly intensify rapidly as we get into the upcoming weekend. Of course, there's a lot of time between now and then, and things could certainly change, but it bears watching. Now, we've been tracking these 2 global models the past few days, the GFS and the European. These are the latest runs. The European here has been trending overnight farther to the east. This looks like an area near Port Arthur and Lake Charles for potentially seeing impacts from this system once it develops. The GFS, even though a little bit slower, does take it into the same general area here. So we have consensus, and overall the past few days the GFS and European have been in pretty good agreement, but there are other global models aside from the GFS and Euro that do paint a different story, so nothing is set in stone. Here's what we know right now. 99L is slowly organizing in the Caribbean, expected to move into the Gulf this upcoming weekend. Models indicating the potential for a stronger storm, very warm sea surface temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico, and those conducive conditions will remain in place through the weekend. What we don't know, of course, is the exact track. We don't actually have a storm that's developed yet, or the storm intensity and impacts on the Gulf Coast, if any at all. We'll have to watch it closely. What's looking more and more evident that'll likely occur here is we won't have that big ridge like we had with the Grace scenario that kept it to the south. It looks like a valley will develop here, a weakness in that ridge that'll be over the southeast, allowing this potential storm to lift its way northwards. Where it takes that northerly turn is still yet to be determined. So just pay attention to the forecast. Check back here a few times a day. We'll bring you the latest updated information as it comes available to us. So this evening, expect a few isolated storms, hot and humid, things dying down through the overnight, and the rest of your 7-day forecast, again, isolated chances through the weekend and then kicking up a bit for more widespread rain depending on the exact track of that system as we watch it for early next week. Sherman?